This episode of Android Authority is brought to you by Audible. Go to audiblepodcast.com/authority to get a free audiobook download of your choice when you sign up today.
I love how it looks like Dr. Oid had some kids.
In a week that saw the Moto X finally get officially announced, we also saw Samsung get in quite a bit of trouble. Hey, it's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And it's time for another dose of the week's top Android news. It's Android Authority Weekly. If you were jealous of new Nexus 7 owners because your old one was starting to show its age, Google seems to have already had a plan in place for the aging tablet, and it has to do with software. Apparently, the slowness that many people have seen over time using last year's Nexus 7 occurs because when blocks of the flash memory get used up, Android has to try to clear some out when it needs to write more data. This whole process really slows things down. Well, in Android 4.3, something called the trim command was added in that performs a large-scale wipe of unused blocks in the flash memory in order to circumvent this process. It happens over the course of a couple hours, and happens when the tablet has a good charge, is idle, and the screen is off. So, rest easy, original Nexus 7 owners, because if you're anything like the people in our comments, you're going to start seeing a speed increase when Android 4.3 finally comes your way. Samsung got in some real hot water this week when AnandTech caught wind of a user's peculiar discovery. A forum user found that his Exynos-powered Galaxy S4 would kick into high gear when benchmark programs were run, and only then. AnandTech investigated and found code in the architecture of the Galaxy S4 Octa that ramps up the production of the GPU and CPU when specific benchmarking programs like Antutu are triggered. Simply put, they were gaming the benchmarking system, when we all know that scores in benchmark tests tend to have a bit of importance. Since all these accusations were made, Samsung has released statements stating that this is simply not true, and that all apps have the ability to access this increase in processor production. We don't quite know who to believe, but AnandTech is one of the most reputable sources for tech, and to be fair, these questionable practices are nothing new, at least in the computing world. We'll have more on this as more information comes in the coming days. If you're a heavy Microsoft Office user on your Android device, then first of all, what the hell are you doing? And second of all, you must have been pretty happy when Office finally made its way to the Google Play Store. It is a free download, but that's about as far as you can go. Users still have to be Office 365 subscribers, and even then the app just lets you do simple edits and creations of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint files. If you still use, say, PowerPoint for all your presentation needs, then by all means, go nuts. And now we get to the news that you've probably been waiting for, mostly because you've become accustomed to hearing about it all the damn time. But luckily, the Moto X has finally been officially announced. And guess what? Those leaks and rumors, they were all pretty much right. The Motorola flagship does sport a 720p 4.7-inch display that perpetually displays your notifications so you never have to even unlock the phone. The processor is, indeed, the dual-core Snapdragon S4 Pro coupled with the Adreno 320, and both are part of the Motorola X8 computing system. Features include a 10-megapixel clear pixel camera that can be accessed by flicking the device twice, and an always-on voice recognition service that allows you to trigger Google Now at any time by saying, "Okay, Google Now." Customization rumors were also true, as Moto Maker was unveiled as a way to cater your device to your style. You can change the color on the back, the front, and the accents on the various buttons and the ring around the camera. Engravings are available for the back of the phone, and you can also put a custom phrase in the boot animation. All Moto X devices will be assembled in Fort Worth, Texas, and thus sent to you within 5 days of purchase. The Moto Maker catch, though, is that for now, it is only available for devices bought through AT&T. Versions on Verizon and US Cellular will currently only be available in the stock black or white colors. All US Moto X's will cost you a pretty hefty price of $199 on 2-year contracts, a price point that has actually been a pretty big point of contention. So that's the Moto X, a somewhat mid-range device on the inside that boasts individuality on the outside. Well, we won't know how it stacks up against the rest of the competition until we spend ample time with the device. But our own Joe Hindi looked at the specs on paper and pondered the battles. Even given just the specifications, the Moto X definitely came out on top against last year's phones, but more importantly, it lost by only small margins against current top devices. Head to Android Authority for the full feature. Now, Joe wasn't the only one that was doing some major thinking though. I'm sure you've gotten at least a little bit tired of all of the Moto X news, leaks, rumors that have come out in the last few months. But now that the device has been officially announced, do you think it lived up to all of the hype and the massive train of leaks and rumors? Our own Derek Ross took a hard look at this hypebeast phenomenon that surrounded the Moto X, and if it honestly kind of ruined it for us. Head to AndroidAuthority.com for this great piece on the Moto X, and let us know what you think. Our final piece of news will please all of you forgetful people out there. If you ever lose your phone or tablet, Google now has its own version of locator software to help you find it. Later this month, Google Play Services will get the Android Device Manager, a way for you to locate your phone or tablet, make it ring even when silent, and remotely wipe it if you need. That's great and all, but some people might scoff at the idea. I mean, I pretty much never lose my phone. I just got back from the crowded streets of downtown LA with my Oppo Find 5 and it is still in my... shit. Whew. As always, a written companion for this video can be found in the description below. Don't forget our other weekly features like Q&A and the Sunday giveaway, both hosted by Chris. And stay tuned because we have a lot of new stuff in store for you here at Android Authority, because we're your source for all things Android.